Good evening.
Good evening.
It's me. It's me. I've come back. Back once again with the bad behaviour.
Let me pop this down a little because I feel like I'm deaf.
Have your eardrums just burst?
100%. The eardrums have absolutely gone to town. So we've got a motley crew in the studio today.
We have.
Joining me on my show. So I mean, you guys will probably know Gary now, but if you don't, Gary.
By now, yes.
Do you want to
Hello.
introduce
Yeah,
yourself?
get Gary Morgan here.
Gary Morgan,
Yeah. I'll go for senior broadcaster.
senior broadcaster at Relax Radio.
There we are.
And
There we
studio
are.
manager.
And studio manager. Yes.
I know
don't
the
forget
title
that.
now. I know the title.
Try not to forget that ever.
Yeah, well, that would not be good considering you're my boss.
Never. Who have we got? There's a young man over there. We can see him. Hello.
Very nicely protected from the cold as well.
And I believe, I don't know whether to bow or curtsy. It's councillor.
Yeah, it's councillor. We're just a man of the people.
A man of the... Oh, look at that.
So that's it.
Citizen Smith. A man of the people.
That's what I like.
There are no managers in the Workers' Republic. As I say.
True.
Exactly, yeah.
So we've got Councillor Purumai with us today.
Excellent.
So, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm a councillor here in Tower Hamlets, got elected in 2018. Part of a new bunch of people who were inspired into politics in 2015 by Jeremy Corbyn.
Yes.
That's come to an end, that cycle, but a new one begins. But yeah, so we all sort of like got involved in politics, and some of us got involved, became councillors, and we want to bring a new type of politics, straight talking, honest politics. That's what it's all about. And bring some change, real
It's
change.
really exciting, I
Change for the
think.
people.
Yeah, no more business as usual, as I say.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think I'll use
We
that
need
as
some
my
real change.
That's
my
a good
campaign
slogan.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that.
Oh,
I
that's
can't remember what did it say.
Huh?
No, I'm joking. Okay, but we've actually nabbed you. We've actually brought you in this evening because there is something of
something
a cause.
big's going down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the Tower Hamlet kind of.
Yeah, it's
ring.
all kicking off, kind of ish.
Oh.
But first disclaimer: my voice is probably now it's broken. I'm sort of like recovering from a flu. So.
Well, you are a young
Yeah.
councillor, aren't you?
I'm young at heart, kind of ish. I'll leave it at that.
The voice breaking.
Yeah,
but,
it's probably the 20 Marlboros a day, kind of ish as well. Marlboro Reds.
those
by the way.
working men's clubs.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
But yeah, things are kicking off, and it is kicking off in the sense that you got Tower Hamlets Council. So just want to give a context. Since 2010, there's been a reduction in funding. So we call it austerity, and what that has meant is that a lot of services that we're used to locally, we're having to cut back because we don't have the money isn't coming from central government.
Okay.
So if you might have read in the papers, a lot of councils outside having to close down libraries, etc.
Yeah.
Because they're not what they call statutory services. So I just want to explain there's certain things a council has to do,
Okay.
regardless. It's a legal obligation. So we have to house people, we have to provide social services,
Yeah.
education. These are things we have to do. But there's a lot of things a council does that it doesn't have to do. For example, libraries, we don't have to provide that, but we think it's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
We provide that. One of the things the council historically provided in Tower Hamlets is something called the Community Language Service. And
All right,
and that's going to be dismantled in April. And that's going to happen.
Yeah.
As early as April now.
Yeah, that's what it is. And I just want to explain what the community language service is. A lot of your readers or a lot of your listeners might not be aware of. So what happened is in the 70s and 80s, a lot of inner London areas had a lot of tension. So you had a lot of migrant communities coming in.
Yeah.
And what happened at the end of the 70s was unemployment rocked up.
Mm-hmm.
So if people were familiar around about that time, I was actually a toddler at that time, unemployment went up to 3 million. And there was a lot of tension. There was a lot of political tension in those areas.
Of course.
And you had communities pitted against communities. And that you had the rise of the National Front as well. We know about the stories in Brick Lane, 1970, 1970s and 80s about Alta Valley getting stabbed, also Blair Peach the
Yeah.
teacher dying as well. But you also had Southall as well, riots in Southall and South London as well at that time. So what happened was the Parliament or the Home Affairs Committee looked into that, saying, look, what this things are kicking off. You know, what can we do? One of the things their findings found was that a lot of migrant communities, they had barriers, you know,
Okay.
to employment, to basically services, etc.
And basically the language.
And language as well.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
and that's why out of that, you know, the government, there is funding for, say, English classes, etc. But one of the things that they found was that if children were bilingual, for example, or learnt the language that's spoken at home, it's a means of actually giving them confidence
Yeah.
and also helping them academically as well. And they found that empirically that children who are bilingual, they actually do well in school, and that's a way of actually raising those left behind demographics
Okay.
in terms of child poverty into education. So initially that's where the funding came from, and Tower Hamlets Council set up this service called the Community Language Service,
Okay.
and see as an anti-poverty measure in terms of child poverty. So I just want to give your listeners a context of Tower Hamlets.
Sure, of course.
It's the third richest local authority area in England. So we produce about £35 billion GDP. So if you divide it by every single resident here, there's 300,000 residents. That'll be a per capita income of excess of £100,000. But that's
pretty
not
impressive.
happening. But then it has one of the highest poverty rates in the entire
It's
country.
child poverty
Child
as well,
poverty,
isn't
yeah,
it?
it's
It's the
60%.
highest.
And
Yeah.
so one of the things we do, one of the things that has been found is that if you could tackle poverty at an early age
Yeah.
in terms of intervention, you're not having to pay out. It's an investment. You're not having to pay out for poor health outcomes or
Well,
unemployment.
for all the adult.
adult issues. If you can intervene at an early age. So one of the key things is if we could get those child poverty rates down, or actually target services towards that, then it's an investment, and that's what that community language service
Well, with
was.
the- with-
If you know, that's the thinking behind it.
Yeah, I understand that. With the CLS,
Yeah.
the value, I mean, as you say, with the children, and it's obviously an amazing achievement, and how far it's come along.
Yeah. I think 40 years it's been running.
40
That's it.
years.
And 11 languages?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is, I've got written down
which
here.
is- look at you. Well,
fantastic.
that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
That's it. But I mean, it's the value of this now. If it's been going for 40 years, is it still as valuable as it was then? Because the community obviously
the-
is now
the
exploded and
empirical-
it's bigger, and it's, you know,
So if you look at the empirical data,
right.
so what are we getting for our bucks? So for £250,000 a year, you're getting a service that benefits, say, around about 1,500 children.
Okay.
1,500 children that come from demographics, backgrounds that there's a high percentage in poverty, disproportionate of them are in poverty.
Yes.
For that, compare 250,000 is the salary of a chief executive in a council. Do you understand what I'm
I
talking about?
thought it
Senior
would be
council
a
officer.
higher
Yeah.
cost, to be fair. Yeah.
For that, you know,
When you put it on balance.
when you
yeah.
put it on balance, like all these children benefiting from it,
I see.
it's, what do you think? It's a no-brainer, isn't it?
Mm.
If you know what I mean. But you know, so there is a, but then it's that political judgment. What do you prioritize? And unfortunately, what's happened is I don't think we're seeing it in London, but the greater narrative, if you go outside of London,
Right.
is you have a move away from multiculturalism towards.
I think we may have our
Alright,
first caller
caller.
here
Cool.
for you, probably.
Let's have a look.
Good evening, caller. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Who have we got?
Hello, Gary. How are you? This is Tanzila.
Oh,
This is
oh,
Tanzila
Hi,
Labono,
Tanzila.
calling
How are
from
you?
Canada.
oh, hello.
I'm fine, Jennifer. How are you, darling?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good.
You see, now this is
was
one of
lis-
our wonderful callers, counsellor, that sometimes
Yeah,
all the
I'm
way
calling
from
from
Canada.
Wow.
Toronto.
What's the weather
Yeah.
like there? Is it snowing?
weather is it's whether it's cold,
Yeah.
but but mild, it's okay.
Understood.
Not as bitingly
Cold, of
cold
course,
as here
it's
then at the minute.
Not like you, not like not like
No, we're all wrapped
England
up
weather,
warm.
but like total weather is always like sometimes cold, sometimes it's fine, sometimes it's cold.
Oh,
Right
that's
now
fine.
it's cold all time. Yeah.
Have you been
So
following the show?
Oh yes, I always, I always I love relaxed radio, and
Thank you.
every day I if I have time, I always listen to,
Oh, that's
if I have
lovely.
time, I always make time to listen to. Because I listen to app, I
That's
Yeah.
all. That's good. That's
Tanzila,
good.
what do
app
you
and sometimes Facebook. I check Facebook sometimes. Yes.
what
Yep.
do you think about
Jenny
the
Sorry.
do you think that
Sorry.
so obviously we're talking about like community language services and like if language as education and that is important, and do you think that languages and learning languages from a young age has an important role in like investing in people and local
The-
areas and education?
Yeah, the young.
What
the
do you
young.
think do you think there's a good value to having these government provided language services?
Languages means like languages courses to English language.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
you talking
all
about?
languages.
Yeah,
all
It's
languages.
important, of course, because of England is English land, right? So of course, it's a government. It's a really good, very initiative and very good. I think it's a good idea to do it. Also, it's good that people will be benefited because of if they learn English
Yeah.
and when they have fluency and everything, I think they can do work better. So I think so.
Absolutely.
True,
I-
that's
I-
true.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. It's all about
English is
communication.
must, because of English, and even though Canada also, and because of even though you see people, most of the people they speak English
Yeah.
as the second language, French in Canada, but because of Canada is a diversified country,
Yeah.
we have so people also from they're coming from other countries also. So doesn't matter. We are all same. Look, but English. If they learn English, if anyone, whoever, they will benefit their family and they will benefit the country too. I
Very
think.
good. Very well said.
Yeah.
Very well said.
Thank you.
Tanzila,
Thank you so much, Gary.
you are so.
And please, Gary,
Yes.
Gary. Last time I was like, you have very nice voice. I told you to sing a song for me.
Oh, I
2 lines,
see.
no problem. Or poem.
You've
Recite a poem because you have very good, nice voice. You are very, humorous also. I love your show too.
Oh, bless you. Bless your heart.
You are very nice.
You've made me blush in front of the councillor now.
Good thing
That's-
you're on radio
No,
because
That's a
you're a
horrid-
nice boy.
That's a
I
horrid
love you
thing.
guys.
I
love you guys.
Well, we love you too, and we can't wait till we hear from you again. You have a lovely day. It's daytime now over there, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice. Okay, breakfast time. Breakfast time.
oh, I wish I had breakfast. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
I'll talk to you later. I'll call you later, and then thank you. I'm enjoying listening to the show now.
Oh,
Lovely.
Carry on what you guys are. Carry on what you guys are. Discussing now. Carry on.
Lovely.
Okay, I'll
we
talk to you later.
will.
Thank you very
Keep
much.
listening.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, darling.
Bye bye now.
Bye bye.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
Bye, Jenny. Goodbye.
That's
I
that's
just
one of
waved.
our
She's like top fan.
Fan.
Top fan
yeah,
on Facebook.
from all the way from Canada.
Wow.
Bless
But I
her.
mean-
She's wonderful. Likes a sing song.
Yeah.
Councillor, do you like a sing song now and again?
Not with this voice anyway.
No, not right.
Well, the good thing about
Not
being
right now.
bilingual is that
Yeah.
you can sing in several different languages
Well, that's
to
amazing.
bring that back.
That's actually that's quite. I mean, that's quite a good question actually. How many languages do you speak?
I've learned 3 actually.
Oh.
Yeah, but I've
Trilingual.
Yeah, so I went to university, did a language there as well.
Oh.
But yeah, that's sort of like academia. But just to pick up on Tanzila's point about English language, one of the things that they
Yeah.
found was that if you're proficient in the language that's spoken at home, because then you understand grammar and structure,
Yes.
that actually helps you progress.
It improves you in
terms of
other
your
languages,
English
doesn't it?
language.
Of course,
So
yeah.
for
Yeah.
example, like when I was learning languages at university, I understood English grammar for the first time, and that's because you're having
Because you
to-
see all the building
Exactly.
blocks.
So you
It's not just
understand the
fluency
structure.
and
So
vocabulary.
when we sort of like acquire English, it's sort of like acquired through listening, etc. We don't actually think about sentence structures.
Well, it's not
etc.
really taught, is it?
Yeah,
Really,
but-
grammar.
and
is
No,
it?
you just pick it
You
up.
just
And
pick it
English
up.
is quite a fluid language as well. You can
Mm.
you could change the word order about.
Yes.
Yeah.
But whereas other languages, they're much more rigid, but you learn grammar and sentence structures
Yes.
through learning languages of English, and that's sort of like helped me personally in improving my English, written English in particular, because you're having to, you actually understand sentence structures, etc.
Absolutely marvelous. Oh, we're going to take a short break, and just stretch our legs, as it were.
That's a good idea.
That's a good idea. Would you like to read out the number?
Yes. So if any of you want to talk, call us live on the studio and talk to our lovely counsellor or to us, or just get involved in the conversation. You can call us on 07852 473 473.
Beautifully
So
done.
yeah, join us after a
Beautifully
quick
done.
break.